To the webinar. You have entered as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. Convene the Village of Royal Palm Beach Recreation Advisory Board meeting. I hear feedback. Are we good? Club in the 80s. Reardon. Sean Fitzpatrick. All right. Robert Birch. No, Mr. Birch. Alfred DePaula. Here. Ms. Radusky.
Trodusky. I'm here.
Tim.
Here.
Mr. Siebert. Ms. Rubin.
Here.
Good to see everybody. And Mike Larimore. Not present. Okay. First order of business on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the October 20th, 2025 board meeting. Anybody have a motion? Anybody have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Comments from the public? Yeah, I signed the one already for that, the 20th. Okay. I think everybody in the gallery is here for, not public comments, I should say. But if anybody from the public has any comments, please step forward. Next, we're going to have a discussion from Chris Marsh, the village engineer. Good evening, sir.
Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. Well, I am here to go over the resolution number 16-55 RAB as Infrastructure Tax Oversight Committee. The purpose of this is to review the list of previous projects for consistency with the stated rules. And that'll be the same for their current projects and future projects. And I put this in PDF so I could zoom in if needed once we get to the projects. So in your packets, you received the rules for the projects. And the gist of it is, the biggest thing is it's any fixed capital expenditure or fixed capital outlay associated with the construction, reconstruction, or improvements of public facilities that have a life expectancy of 5 or more years, and related land acquisition, land improvement, design, and engineering costs, and all other professional and related costs required to bring the public facilities into service. So your job is to look at what we've spent in the past, look what we plan to expend this year, and then make sure that our future expenditures are in line with those rules. On this sheet, there you have the sum of the 24-25 expenditures, which is about at $500,000. The sum of the funds we received in 24-25, which is a little over $5 million, and then the projected funds that we're going to receive in the current fiscal year, which is sadly only $1 million because the program.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Sorry. For the current year, there's only about $1 million because the program is coming to an end. It had an automatic sunset in the program once we reached a certain dollar threshold, and we reached that. So this will be the last year of funding, other than interest that we receive from monies that have already been collected. And you could see a summary of all those funds, which amounted to just over almost $29 million beginning in 2017. So the next couple of slides, we are down to 2 projects that are remaining to be expended in the fund, which I'm sure everybody's aware of, is the rec center expansion. And I added a couple slides to this because we're getting very close, hopefully, to start building this. The first slide is the schedule of construction. So what we're looking at right now is the design is 95% complete. And this week, the Kaufman Linn, the design build contractor, is supposed to deliver to us what is referred to as the guaranteed maximum price for the project. Provided that price is acceptable to us, that will go to hopefully the next council meeting. We're going to work hard to turn that around and bring that to the next council meeting, which would get us moving very quickly. This form of procurement basically allows the construction to start almost immediately, simultaneously with the completion of design. We did have hiccups getting to this point, which delayed the project several years because the original architect unfortunately passed away when he was about 60 to 70% through design, and then we had to do a number of different. We tried a number of different ways to restart that design, and this is what we've ended up with. We think it's going to be successful. Basically, the third time is the charm, hopefully. And what that means is we should be breaking ground sometime in May, June. And the plan with the construction is to leave the building in place. All the existing functions would remain in place through the first phase of construction, which is kind of building the expansion of the building. We'll get to a point sometime in January, February of 27, where we would have to fully close the building with the exception of the educational wing, to complete the construction. The reason for this is because there's mechanical and electrical tie-ins, there's penetrations into the building, And it would be very difficult to keep operations open while all of this was happening from a life safety standpoint and just a logistics standpoint. And because the entire building is actually going to be remodeled as
What is the
part of this.
maximum target you think you're going to have to close it for?
We're hoping 3 to 4 months is what we're hoping. And with the potential of the expansion wing possibly opening sooner than the other area. And we'll have the final details of that very shortly. That's coming with the GMP. There's been a lot of discussions, and the final plan will be ironed out in this next 2 to 3 weeks. This slide here is an elevation of the building from the different sides of the building. The bottom one is the front of it. This middle one here is the rear. This is the educational. So this is kind of the side when you're driving up from Sparrow. This is an isometric view of what the expansion is going to look like. You could see there's basically a mirror of the existing gymnasium that's going to go in. We're going to put a much bigger fitness exercise style gym with actually showers that you could shower in and a locker room to make it more attractive for residents to come and work out and clean up before they get in their car. There is going to be a really nice wing expansion, a 4,100 square foot expansion. And what's unique about this space is it's 3 individual rooms that could open up into one large room. The current area that Young and Hart is using can house, I believe, 150 people. And this new wing will be able to house up to 200 people. So it'll be added capacity. Plus, obviously, you have the existing capacity of that existing room. There'll be a new kitchen, new restrooms, a new lobby area for this wing. And we actually added a exterior entry restroom. So people using the pickleball courts and the other facilities within the immediate area would be able to use this restroom without actually having to go into the main facility. This here is a rendering of what the new lobby is going to look like. We've overhauled the reception area so it'll be a nice clean feel when you come in to this space. This is a rendering of the new gym that will be constructed. As it will have its own entry to the locker areas, so they won't be directly open to the public. You'll have to have a membership to use those showers and facilities associated with this space. And in the area outlined in red is the expansion area of what is going to take place. The total budget is $21.5 million currently. And these next slides are just kind of zoom ins of the floor plan. And then the final project that is in the 302 fund is the repurposing of the Veterans Park splash pad. Over time, the tree roots grew into some of the main arteries of the fountain. The vaults have aged out of usefulness. We looked into rebuilding it. And when those costs came in, the council decided that it was time to decommission this. We have another splash pad at Commons, which is in close proximity to this, so it didn't make sense to spend the money to rebuild it and operate it. And what we plan on doing, if you look at this drawing, is essentially cut out all the concrete in the middle area and get rid of that raised area. The alligator statues will remain. The middle area will be grass with a small ligustrum tree in the center with some nice hedges surrounding that. And it'll become a passive area of the park where people can put down a blanket and relax in that area. and the kids could still obviously play on the alligators. So it still will keep some of its function, but obviously a lot less to maintain. And that, and we have the art in public places, which will be used to create the art at the recreation center. As part of our ordinance, we're required to fund art in public places based on the vertical construction costs, and this fund will go towards building that art in public places for the rec center.
Just, I have one quick question. Does anybody else have a question?
I have a question. During the closing of the rec center, will the pickleball and basketball and skate park be closed as well?
No, that will remain open.
Okay, thank you.
And actually, as part of this project, we're going to create a connection to the Cat soccer fields, a direct connection. So that parking lot can be used by the rec center and vice versa. When the soccer fields need surplus parking, there'll be a connection to the parking for the rec center. So
As like a path or something?
a drive connection, a roadway connection
Okay.
between. It gets really close, so we're going to reconfigure. There's an existing basketball court that'll be reconfigured as part of this, and then a driveway connecting the two facilities.
All right, that's a good idea.
Will be created. So.
You mentioned that the new bathrooms connected to the gym, there's a membership,
For the showers, not the restrooms.
not for the gym or any other.
Mark, you could touch base on that, but I believe you'll be able to get a membership and utilize the showers through.
Right, so if you pay a daily fee, and this is for the fitness center room, not to be confused with the gymnasium gym. So if you're using the weight equipment, you can pay a daily fee or have the membership, just how we have right now. That would give you access into that room, and then through that room, you would have access into the locker rooms. So we wouldn't have direct access from the hallway into the locker rooms unless you had a membership pass. You could come in the other way too if you had a membership pass card.
Or what's the membership for
We have
the
not,
exercise equipment?
we have not determined that yet for the coming out to the new
Is
facility.
that something new, or is that?
Well, yeah, that's why I was asking, because that was something that I hadn't heard of before.
No, we've always charged a fee for the room, but this will be 2.5 times the size, all new equipment.
Will the parking lot be
It'll still be reasonable. I mean, if you can imagine like Planet Fitness, that would probably be our #1 competitor, so
Right.
we'll probably be just below our competitor or something like that.
Was the parking lot going to be repaved also?
Yes, the parking lot is being repaved.
Parking lot and the entrance roadways in both directions will be repaved.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else have questions for Mr. Marsh? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. You'll see when you get to my report, my drawings aren't quite as eloquent as our engineering department's drawings.
Well, they're in crayon. I mean,
Thanks, Chris.
I understand we did have a presentation from Mr. Pendergrass, but he is out sick tonight, so we are going to be skipping the program and events updates. We will hear from him at our next meeting, which leaves updates, Parks and Rec Director, Mr. Palowski.
All right, so Chris actually covered a couple of my two big projects, but I do like to share with you guys where we're at with our capital projects. It talked about the rec center expansion project in good detail. I'm glad that he did share with you that tentative schedule that we have as well. That will get tightened up. One of the things that we're dealing with right now, so like our pickleball membership and our fitness room membership, we're only selling a half year right now up to June 1st, waiting for that detailed schedule. I didn't want to have to deal with my front desk staff having to do refunds or partial refunds. When we have an idea where the schedule's going to take us, if we know we're clear through the rest of the year, we'll just do the second half at that time, so. The porticature over at the Cultural Center is basically done. If you've been over there, you can see it. Anything that's left on the punch list doesn't affect the ability to use the facility or the drive area. So there's just a few minor things that are still being done with that project. Veterans Park, as he mentioned, that is the last project that will go to council for approval in the February board meeting, for the council to approve. We did get good pricing on that, so that, I expect that should move forward and get started soon after that. Bob Marcello Lighting Project, we converted almost all of our fields. I think we're down to just one field that doesn't have LED lights, because it's still under warranty, but, so, actually, by the time we get to our April meeting, I might be able to show you some cost savings by switching to the LED lights versus the old lighting system that we had in there. I know it looks, the feedback I've gotten already is that the light level is extremely much more brighter and improved. Of course, it's brand-new lights, so. But absolutely. So, and it's a lot more, has the ability to be more focused on the fields and not spill. So, the disc golf pads additions, that was already completed. The all-access playground is currently, we actually have a pre-bid meeting tomorrow for that, so that's the next one over at Commons Park, that we're gonna add on to the north playground area. So hopefully, if we get good bids on that, we could have that done by 4th of July. Before we have our festival out there for the 4th. Still waiting to hear any official word on the Cat soccer field on the grants situation, so I'm still very optimistic about that. And as I mentioned before, we had completed the roof replacement, and then our staff had repainted the concession stand over at Cat's Field too, so. So a lot of good things, obviously, and you can see, I just took that same three-dimensional drawing and I highlighted the area that is the new and expanded area. We are gonna start pushing some of this information out on the village website, as well as having display boards in the rec center to share with the public, so they understand what's going on as well, so. As part of the repurpose of that space in the center. I did have a handout that I had Eva bring tonight too, just to share a few things going on at Veterans Park in particular. So next week, Thursday through Sunday, our Shakespeare Festival, which we normally have had out at Commons Park at the amphitheater, we're gonna have at the theater in Veterans Park this year. And so it's free, they do take donations, but it's, I think, a couple things, the audience typically ranges, depending on the night, between 100 to 200 people. It's gonna feel much more full in that park versus being in the middle of Commons Park because it's so large. Parking, so it's all right there on the park there, and then even here at Village Hall, if you park in the back here at Ewing Park, it's a shorter walk, step for step, from the back of the building here to that part of Veterans Park than it is if you're parked at Commons Park and walked out to the amphitheater there. So, I know Jan's looking forward to being there. You'll probably see her a couple nights if you come out. So feel free to share that with anybody you know.
Who wouldn't want to see Macbeth to celebrate Valentine's Day?
Right. There is Friday the 13th in there as well.
Curveball.
And then the following weekend is our West Fest at Commons Park. That is our 1 3-day festival, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I did include a little bit of it didn't quite come out in that flyer there for you, but for anybody that you know that's got young kids that might want to compete and be part of our Little Miss and Mr. West Fest competition, that information is on the website, on our social media as well. Or obviously, at any time, anybody can call the rec center for more information. So,
Very nice. All right. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the Recreational Advisory Board meeting schedule for 2026. Next scheduled meeting is April 20th. Then we have July 20th, September 21st, and October 19th.
And there goes the year.
And there goes the year. Anyone have any issues off the top of their heads, conflict-wise with those dates? I think those will be fine for me, but. Yeah, okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I would like to bring up an idea that I shared with council at our last meeting. So as you all know, this year, the United States will be celebrating its 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. We will have our July 4th celebration. As the context to this was, I was at a National League of Cities conference, and they were talking about this concept of America's potluck. And cities across the country were talking about doing block parties and having potlucks with their neighbor, and for the village or even neighbors to organize in such a manner between now and July is going to be a lot. So instead of trying to coordinate all that, I came up with an idea that I'm now calling 56 Steps. It is in honor of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. It takes place on July 5th, the day after the July 4th, right? And that's when all these potlucks are happening. That's why that date was chosen. Instead of Halloween, where we knock on doors and get candy from residents, we're going to flip it. We're going to ask those people who normally go out trick-or-treating to go knock on their door and bring their neighbor a treat. And with that, they also get the opportunity to have a bingo card, and they will ask their neighbor just some basic information. You know, talk about your pets, or talk about your favorite vacation, or talk about your favorite holiday. Just a way to get neighbors to engage. Clearly, it is a free event. It's participation as people want to. And so, so far we've gotten some pretty good feedback, but we're going to use a poster at Westfest to really gauge interest for the neighbors, and then get some ideas of what other people are thinking about the event. But I just wanted to share that with you tonight.
Couldn't you give those some to the seniors at the rec center?
Absolutely.
They know what,
Yep, absolutely.
Is the 5th the weekend this year?
It is. And so the timing would be similar to a Halloween, say 6 to 9. And that way, no matter what day it falls on in the future, because I hope it's not just a one-time thing. I hope we can continue to make 56 Steps an annual event as people are willing and excited about doing that. So that way, it doesn't matter if it falls on a Wednesday, people can still come home from work and participate.
Excellent. Any other issues, questions, comments from the floor or the dais? All right, motion to adjourn?
make a motion to adjourn?
Second? I heard a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's go. Thank you.